Well, the Department of Energy said no one was available for Newsnight this evening. But let's get more reaction to that. Now, economist Bonke Dumisa joins us here in the studio. Good evening. Prof, thanks very much for coming through, and it's good to have you in studio for a change and not from Durban. But your thoughts about this proposal?
I'm actually impressed because it shows then that the government listens. Yes, the retail margin on the entire petrol price accounts for only about 11%. But if ever they can give the retailers that discretion to discount that petrol, then it can make some difference, especially because the people who are currently using the 93 octane petrol, it's mostly smaller cars and mostly, if ever we can put it bluntly, not the so rich people. So at least it's a pro-poor.
So you subscribe to the notion that competition can only be good?
It can only be good. And this is not new. Let me take you back, decades back, not even years back. The giant retail store, Pick and Pay, if I can mention it, they own a lot of hyper stores, and next to each one of them, they had a Shell garage service station. And they applied to the ministry to have petrol on at a discount. And they were told, no dice. It's the rule, it's the law, and you can only sell at the set price. So with this particular, I can call it a pilot project, if ever it can be proved then that this thing can work well, it will be good for the South African consumers. At least let us not look at the magnitude of this. Let us say it's a step in the right direction.
Well, granted, I mean, the 95 unleaded petrol is used by 80% of the people who consume petrol in this country at the moment. But the question many people are asking today that if this is good for 93, why isn't it good for 95? In other words, why not apply the same logic?
But this is not the final decision. Before you do anything major, you have to have a pilot study. I can really say this is an equivalent of a pilot study. And because the demand for the 93 octane is so low, it will be better for the government then to see if ever this works. Because we've not had a situation where people were competing on the price of petrol in South Africa up until today. So let us see how it works. And then they can use that then to project how this can work when it comes to the 95 octane and the former 98 octane.
Now, well, from what we know, and I'm not saying this is the only proposal on the table, but from what we know, there is no other proposal on the table. What is your view? Should the levies be holy cows? Should we not look at those levies as well?
But this is the beginning of that. Let us go back to the structure of the levies in South Africa. With that 17 rands you pay for your petrol, only 8 rands something goes to the basic petrol price or crude oil price. The rest is divided into so many other things, including 1 rands 92 for the retail margin. So we're only talking about this 1 rands 92 retail margin. If ever the government can see that this can work there, then they can extend it to the other categories where it is possible.
But does it have to be the way it seems to be? I mean, there's a lot that we don't know. But what is wrong, or what would be wrong with looking or examining or putting out proposals on the levies as well, at about the same time they are doing what you reckon is a pilot study on 93 versus 95?
There's an English saying that if you fight all battles at the same time, you lose the war. So when you are trying to sort out a problem, do it bit by bit. Unfortunately, I'm one person who's pro-wildlife, so I cannot say we can eat the elephant in a small basis. So I'm simply saying, let us try with one of these fuel levies. If it works, then you proceed to the other. You do have some holy cows. I mean, the RAF definitely will be a holy cow. But you have to, let's give the government the opportunity to try with the 93 octane. If it works, then surely they will extend it to the other grades which are high in demand.
Well, Prof, I mean, it's a race against time because this petrol price rise, from what we're told, is going to be a runaway train. You've seen what's happening in emerging markets with or without and it's going to get worse. Right?
Yes,
from what we are told.
And
you've told us over and over again that there is nothing we can do about the rand-dollar exchange, that there is nothing we can do about the price of crude oil. So shouldn't we be examining all possibilities here and now?
This may be the beginning of that. I keep on emphasizing that one, that you don't try everything at the same time. You do one thing at a time. If it works with 93, surely they will go to 95. And then who knows? Then they may look at the other items within that fuel levy.
But do you have any thoughts as to where else, where the possibilities might be?
You know, before I came here, I was looking at those different categories of the different taxes. There's not really much that you can do without causing damage to some structure, for example.
Okay, Prof, thanks very much for coming through this evening.
Okay, sure.
Great to have you here, Professor Bonke Dumisa.